London, as everyone knows, is a world capital city. There's an awful lot to do, and the Metropolitan Police have
wanaagsan waa la wada wadaagay noloshan intaas ay ku dhisan tahay aniga waxba naqaan adigadan aan aqoon
15 years old and older, and I'm using that as an age because 15 has a specific meaning.
Community. They are, in my opinion, Somalian communities.
وأنا نقول السياسة ده هالكن هذا نقولون وحبك قف سمينا سر متاعي
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته داودي الملك السوداني ذا كجوكتان كسر هذا برنامج كي أريمها بلشدة وحلي كان سيتوس يدين كجاي مالية تي في عالمي جاي يونيفرسال حرمتي سلحة مقالة لندن سيدان هرب يدين كوجو شغني يصدق ويكهر برنامج كان عاوة أيان وحنا كوكا هذا لقينا وحيالها criminal kala xiriira iyo dambiyada waaweyn oo dadku ay galaan ama mararka qaarkood lagu soo eedeeyo sida maxkamadin lagu geeyo booliisku ku xiro xabsiye dadka qaarkood la geeyo iyo waliba dambiyada kale oo ka dhaca dadka ehelka gudihiisa sida domestic violence iyo waxyaalaha la midka dadka kala dhexmara waxaanu jecelnahay arintan inay noqoto mid mara dhashan lagana faa'iideysto maxay yeelay waxyaalo aad iyo aad u fara badan ayaanu halkan caawa idin kugu haynaa oo community-gu noo soo qoray haddii aan marka hore idin kugu bilaabo waxaan jecelahay in idin kugu hormariyo walaal Soomaaliyeed oo muddo 13 sano ah la xiray ilaa haatan la xiran caruurtiisana dib u arkin kadib markii xaaskiisu ay ku soo eedeysay in uu u galmooday ayadoon raalli ka ahayn dabadeedna laga helay raadkiisii xubinteeda taranka markaa kadibna maxkamad la soo taagay ilaa haatan maxkamadii markii maxkamad la soo taagayna lagu xukumay 13 sano inuu xirnaado marka uu soo baxana dalkana laga masaafuriyo dadka dambiyada noocaas galana registerkooda lagu daro inta uu nool yahay waxyaalaha iyo waxyaalo la mid ah ayaanu fooda daraynaa mar dhow hadii Ilaahay yiraahdo balse ما دونينا أرنتها إن عدين تينا كفيرنا because فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون أنا جاي مرتدى إذا منا بأهل ملهن إن عدين تينا كفيرنا مع كم إذا نشيخ يمكن دونا أرنتها فود درا وحاول يجوا تجبر هذا الكورال كان نوجد من أيضا criminal lawyer إن فربنا كشغلين يسي حقوق إنسان كان مدبر ودقال لما يسي دل كان أيضا ولا تي مركز هراء ودن كان UK ودن أن ولا تي أن dadka Soomaalida aad iyo aad u caawisay waliba dadkii 77 lagu soo xukumay qaraxii ka dhacay magaalada London u dagaalantay xuquuqdoodana u soo dhiciso muslimiinta ahaa maxkamadda weyn ee sare dalkan Ingiriiskana cod ku leh ra'yigeedana la tixgeliyay waliba labada guri oo House of Lords ka loo yaqaano ala kullin waxaanu doonaynaa arintaas inaanu ka hadalno hadii qof laga xiray ama aad isleedahay booliisku waxay u target gareeyaan caruurtaada gardarro ama xaq darro lagu sameeyay waxaanu jecelnahay inaad soo gudbisid insha Allah ta'ala dabadeedna fikradeeda iyo aqoonteeda ay noo soo gudbiso Sister Suzanne, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for coming once again. I would like to start with this story where a brother, husband and wife, they accusing each other for the wife said that he raped me. The guy says that no, I didn't rape her. It's my wife. She agreed. His semen were found, and the brother is being locked up. What is the law general surrounding this without getting deep inside to this particular topic?
Okay, well, with this particular offence, the issue really is consent. And that's what's going to occur within the marriage or outside the marriage. There has to be consent for any sort of sexual relations. So therefore the issue will be as to the wife is obviously saying she did not consent and the husband is saying she did. And what will occur is that there'll be investigations. Obviously there has been relations because the evidence has been found. So the issue will really be, it will come down to whether or not consent was present. And clearly the court will listen to both sides and then they'll come to a decision. They have to believe beyond reasonable doubt that the crime has been committed. So they'll have to listen very carefully, and they'll probably listen to the background of the relationship. Maybe possibly in these sort of circumstances they bring other members of the family. You know, if there's been a volatile relationship, there can be quite a lot of background information. Sometimes it's not as simple as one word against the other. Sometimes it is, but it often can be actually looking into the whole relationship, particularly if there's been separations or bad feelings before and evidence of that, which would support the wife's claim, obviously, that she's been treated, you know, wrongly.
Okay, we live in a society where often a woman being believed more than a man. How's that fair?
Well, there's two opinions. There's a lot of people say that women are treated quite badly when they report sexual offences, in that they're interrogated, they have to be, you know, investigated quite thoroughly. But obviously that is a protection, because on the other hand, once the allegation is made, it does seem that certainly the side goes more with the woman than the man. But unfortunately, it may not be the law is supposed to actually balance that up. So when an allegation is made, the problem is such a serious allegation, whether true or false, you know, sticks in relation to the man. You know, it'll become part of a criminal record until it's gone forward unless he's acquitted. You know, so it is quite a very serious allegation. The law is supposed to balance it up in that both parties are heard fairly, and then the person with, you know, who has got the strongest evidence is believed. But as we know, that's not always the case.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I know that you worked with the Somali and the Muslim community a lot, and voluntarily you worked with them and help a lot of people. There's a lot of problem that facing our youth in particular. Police locking them up, criminalization, a lot of things going on. What is your experience regarding this topic?
I think the first thing which I think is really important to get across is that we as a community have responsibility. I mean, there is the issue of youth being criminalised, general population being criminalised. But first of all, the issue is we've got to look at ourselves. At the end of the day, the highest rising group within prison is Muslims, and a large proportion of that is Somali youths, So we have to understand there is a problem there, and we have to actually stop running away from it. And I think that's really important. I think we have to think about how far do we need to go. I mean, how many children are going to be lost to the prison system or lost to sort of the road life, you know, before action's taken. And I think often the first step is us as Muslims realising that the situation is not how we want it to be. You know, we all think that if you bring your children up to pray and to have a good balance, a good basis in Islam, that is enough. But we have to understand it's not enough. They're living in a very different society, and every time has got its trial. And definitely, I think for the Muslim community, the trial here is going to be crime and drugs and young people getting involved in things which are beyond our control. One of the main issues, I think, is that understanding that, you know, what is going on outside the house, because I think we have to understand that our expectations are too high. We think that, as I said, once we have a base in Islam, your child is going to be perfect, and if they're not, you know, because of the shame, then you reject that child. You know, it's basically very black and white. Either the child's a perfect Muslim, or they need to shape up or get out. That you can't operate like that. You're effectively giving your child, you know, to the street life and to a life of crime and everything else. So I think the issue is, first of all, accepting there's a problem. Not feeling ashamed about that. It's a test. It is a test we're facing, and like in Islam, we are tested all the time, particularly with children and young people. And I think if we start looking at that as a community, maybe we can get a bit further on in dealing with the problem that they're facing. Right.
I know that, like I said earlier, a lot of Somali youth forget other youth. Let's stick with the Somali youth. Often, when you talk to the young Somalis, but particular boys, they say that the police are being heavy-handed. They just stop them on the streets and say, "Listen, where you going? Where you up to?" And these guys who just minding their own business, they get angry when you've just been stopped for no reason, and you know the only reason why you've been stopped is because of your color skin most of the time. It builds up frustration, and this youth gets simply angry. And there you have a police waiting to arrest them. How can we avoid situations like that, where we can work with the police, not go against the system, but work with the system, so our youth are safe?
I think it's quite difficult to say to work with the police. To be honest with you, we have to be very clear, because the police have got a certain aim. They're very keen on antisocial behaviour. They're very keen on any sort of, unfortunately, society today criminalises young people for no reason. Just if people see a group of youth outside their door, they're going to call the police. And, you know, so working with the police in relation to really, I think, letting them address issues of racial profiling, whether it's arresting people because of colour or some people because of colour. But we know that historically that's the problem. That's always been the problem. The real issue is working with the young people and making sure they've got the skills how to deal with it when they're stopped and searched or stopped and just asked questions. And, I do workshops in relation to that. And the main issue is teaching them how to understand their rights. When they're stopped and searched, what information they have to give, how they should behave, if they feel they've been treated badly, how that a solicitor or someone else can make an official complaint. It's not to deal with it there and then on the road, because that's only going to be volatile. And once they start getting volatile, the police don't need much of an excuse to arrest them. So the real issue is that they keep calm, they know their rights, they know what information they have to give, and they know that they can ask for things like the officer's shoulder number, the officer's name, and make a note of that, and then they can go to their solicitor or any other person who's able to assist them and make a formal complaint. That's the only way to change this, because until people keep complaining about the treatment they're getting, no one will be held responsible. And that's very difficult for young people to do that, because young people, in a very different frame of mind. They're constantly getting stopped, constantly getting searched, and it breeds an aggression towards the police, unfortunately. So it's not something, I'm not saying it's simple, because it's not, but it's something we can work at. And again, it's something that as parents and families, we need to be aware of that. What will happen is if a son was generally boys, more than girls at the moment, but if a son comes home and he's been stopped and searched, the parents just overreact. You must have done something wrong. Why were you stopped and searched? You're this, you're this, you're this, and this will stop the stream of communication. We have to again realise that being stopped and searched, being arrested by the police often could mean your child has done nothing wrong. And you need to be very open-minded and not just overreact and think that your son or daughter, if it is that case, has somehow, committed some serious crime. The situation is different when they've committed a crime, or how you'd react. But definitely, I think a lot of young people don't even tell their family they've been stopped and searched, because they think, oh, if I do, it's going to be we're doing something wrong. If we don't, sort yourself out, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And it becomes very volatile at home. So it's volatile outside with the police, it's volatile at home, and it becomes very difficult. So again, I think, we also have to learn the lesson of how to engage with, young people.
Right. I know that you assist a lot of Somali boys in court, where even their parents don't turn up or don't even know. Why? How come a parent don't know what this guy is telling you?
Well, I think it's not even anyone's specific account from anyone. It's a common problem. What is happening is that when someone is arrested for anything, they know the situation at home. So for example, it can start by someone being stopped and searched. They know the reaction if they go home and say they've been stopped and searched. So imagine the reaction if they've been arrested. It's going to be everything, is like, you're going to want to leave the house if you don't stop doing this, if you don't stop doing that. The pressure comes on in a very, big way. And the issue is as well is that they sometimes feel like their parents, after being arrested once or twice, the parents are like, well, I've had enough of you. If you've got to go to court, go yourself. They don't realise the situation the young person is in. Now, sometimes young people will constantly get in trouble, and they will really get in trouble. I mean, as in not be just innocently stopped. And again, as a family and as a community, we need to realise that's part of a test and part of the society we're living in. So if your young person is getting arrested, it's not a matter of giving ultimatums. It's a matter of saying, well, I don't want you to have this lifestyle. I want to support you. I'll come to court with you. You might have to go to court 20 times, but that's your child. That's your child. You have to stick with them. What's happening all too often is that if the child maybe once, or the young person once goes to court and doesn't shape up after that, it's that basically I've washed my hands of you. I don't really care what you're doing now. Go your own way. When you're ready, come back. But it's something quite, to be honest with you, it's alien to Islam. It's very alien to Islam, because if it's a young person, even as a community, if a young person is in difficulty, which really is what it is, I don't think you can say it's black and white. They're going out committing crimes, so they deserve whatever they get. That's a whole different issue, the justice system. But the issue is support from the community. You may have to support that young person's child, maybe that they like being outside and they do stupid things, and unfortunately, some people will do that. But it's a test for them, and it's a test for the family how they deal with it, and you have to be there time and time again. And only through that and supporting them and constantly saying to them that I will be there. I mean, obviously there'll be boundaries. No one's saying that you should just say that's fine. There has to be boundaries. There has to be things set down in relation to how they're going to improve themselves. But this matter of just like you do what I say. You've made a mistake once. Basically do your own thing or leave the house. I don't care where you go. Come whenever you want. Go whenever you want. I've had enough of you. Only actually, entices them more to a life, without a family and without any support. So I think it comes down to that fact that the parents just wash their hands too quickly. you know.
Sometimes what happens is, knowing our kids, we think that they're angels. They don't do, crime. They don't commit crimes. They don't do anything like that. And the parents themselves are in denial. How important it is for the parent to realize, after all, my son is not an angel. Here is the case, and I need to deal with it, rather than running away from the fact.
I think it's very important. I think it's really important to understand, as I said from the beginning, the society they're living in, understanding that what they face outside. It's no way how anyone can imagine it. Like basically, you choose to go outside. If something goes wrong, it's your choice. No, they are young people. They want to socialise. They want to have friends. And the choice is normally for them. Either you stay inside and have no sort of social life, or you go out and you go maybe with the people we're not happy with, and then we don't really want you to come back. So it's very important to realise the sort of situation they're in. And I have to say, because I deal with all young people, although particularly Somali youth, I have to say, in terms of dealing with them, they are the one section of the Muslim community who I think are strongest in their deen. I've never seen anything like that. And I think it's a credit to their families. No matter what they've done, they have their deen in their heart. They'll always talk about Islam. They'll always talk about how the first thing they'll say in terms of any things they've done wrong is that they're looking to get stronger in their deen. So, and I think that is the key. If the families at home enhance that, not that you're not praying 5 times a day, it's haram, we don't want you. No, it's not about that, because when people go through different stages. So it's the fact of just enhancing the fact that they have their deen in their heart like no other sort of young people that I've seen. And it's about trying to enhance them back into that, like saying, okay, maybe you haven't been praying, but can you try and go Jummah? A different sort of approach, not just haram, halal, we want you, we don't. We have to really come back from that, because that is what basically is putting our children on the streets, sort of putting them in, eventually getting them in prison, because we're not able to take them back before that happens.
Indeed. Speaking of young people, I show you the email from Salma Talma on Facebook, and she said that the police and education sector times could be racist, especially towards our people. Do you find that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt that if there's a group of Somali boys in an area, they're going to be stopped, they're going to be searched. If they're sitting in a car, maybe talking outside someone's house, they're going to be, ask questions, I think there's no doubt that there's a stereotype, and that we do have to target that. But then again, I think that's a responsibility for all of us, again, particularly us as adults, I would say, in making complaints, in dealing with them. There are, like, as you said, working with the police, there's a lot of community policing groups and things like that, where the Somali voice is not heard. And it's not heard because, again, of the shame. There's not an admission that there is a massive problem. We're not saying every single Somali young person, is a criminal or does criminal activity. Of course not. Do you know what I mean? But what we have to say is that, we do have a problem. We have to engage with other people to make sure that the young people are not being treated unfairly. Do you know what I mean? And open the lines of dialogue at home and with these community groups, so we know what's going on. But if your children are not telling you they're being arrested and stopped, how can we make those complaints? So it sort of all comes back to us, really.
Okay, sister, thanks very much. I'll come back to you. daawadayaal intaas aanu hadlayno dhan ma soo wada bedeli karo, Soomaali kuma bedeli karo, waqti badan baa naga lumaya. But hal hadal oo muhiima oo itaabtay intay hadlaysay ama aan isleeyahay maaragtay waxyaalihii ugu nuxurka badnaaba waxay tiri da'yarta Soomaaliyeed intaan dad arkay waa dadka ugu diin dhow, xataa haddaysan diintooda ku dhaqmaynin, mar walba Ilaahay iyo rasuulkiisa ay jecel yihiin, waana wax lagu farxo. Waxaan idiin furayaa hadda khadka telefoonada oon jecelahay ka qayb qaadataan insha Allah taala programkan. Waxaan jecelahay barnaamijku inuu ahaado waxa aan ka hadlayno uusan ahaanin maaragtay waxyaalo ka baxsan topiga, hadalkuna oo wax yar oo kooban yahay, dhinaca kalena aan telefoonka iska maqalno oo TV-ga iska naqsan, si walaalo fara badan ay fursad u helaan. Qofka u horeeya caawa. Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaah.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام عبد الحفيظ أديكي قبل سوليسيتر كابو.
سولو برا مقعة.
هلو.
وعليكم السلام هذا.
ها عبد الحفيظ أديكي إيو قبل بوعد سلامي.
وعليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام. عاد كرقاد.
أديكي إيو قبل بسوليسيتر كابو سلامي.
وكان هذا مقعة.
عبد الرزاق اللي هذا لندن أكسو هذا يا.
مشكلة واحد عبد الرزاق TV أنه يرجع يستنى يسوي طبعا الناس ما مغلينه.
ما TV كده عدك ويجحرين يا سيف أنا أقوم مغلاني.
أوكي عبد الرزاق وكوسو نقول يا مركيت إن شاء الله TV إسكونا قصيد أو وقتي وعليل جوا وقف كلام كحيل حلو من مقشة. هلاو.
ألو السلام عليكم.
عبد الغني هل كان محبك كمان مقال موقف لكن السلام عليكم الجبار كم مغلية.
الو السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. وحير وكادي عمي لين كوجر وحير. هلا هذا ما مغشى.
الو السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. مقعة.
والله احمد علي احمد قول.
احمد سولو.
والله waxaan filaa codkaad horta ugu gaaban yahay.
anigu si fiican baan kuu maqlaa.
kuma maqlo walaal codka waxbaa ka dhex qaylinaya.
waa gartay waxaa laga yaabaa cilad farsamo xaggeena inay tahay ama xaggaaga balse waan ku maqlayaa yaro wado.
waan dhegaysanayaa laakiin macnaha codkaada hadda si fasiixa u maqlayo.
su-aashaadu waa maxay?
su-aashayda waxay tahay waxaan rabay haddii ay suurtagal tahay inaad ii weydiiso waxaa jira wiil yar oo nin walaalkay macnaha qolada socialka ay ka qaateen haddii ay wax ka qaban karta iyo haddii kale arrintaas inaad ii weydiiso.
socialka iyo criminalka maxaa iska gala camo?
codkaadana si fiican u maqlaynin marka haddii aan ku faahfaahi lahay.
axmed anigu waa ku maqlayaa waxaana jecelahay inaad wadatir hadalka oo sharaxaad ka bixiso because waxaan fahmi lahay socialka oo inan ka yar qaatay iyo criminalka waxa ka dhexeeya.
haddii aan ku faahfaahiyo waxa waaye walaal gabadha yar walaalkay qabay gabadh marka gabadhii iyo yarkii waa kala tageen canug yar bay u dhashay gabadhii xoogaa way xanuunsatay madaxa laga galay asigana wadanka ma deganeen wuxuu deganaay Faransiiska oo u noqday marka gabadhii markii ay canugii hay waysay waa laga qaaday odagii ay yimiday dacwo furay dacwadii markuu furay oo maxkamad ay tagtay waxa la go'aamiyay in dhiig laga qaadin oo dhaliin kale dhiigya laga qaaday waa la soo ogaaday markii la soo ogaaday ka waxa la yiri macnaha canugaada kuma garanayo adiga oo lama aada soo korin marka isbar canugii wuu u tagi jiray waxa la sii jiray 1 hour banaanka uu gaa jiray waa soo ciyaarsi jiray dib dambe waxa la yiri markii hawshii intaas la ogaaday waxa la yiri saaxib canugaada ma ugu maqanacsano marka waxa uu dhiibayna dad kale marka wuxuu yiri dadka kale aad u dhiibaysaan waa isbaranayaan anigii dhalayna waad ii diidaysiin macnaha taas waxaan u dareennay marka inayna meesha cadaalad ka jirin markii dambe waxaan ku doodnay markii in dad muslim loo dhiibo dad Pakistan loo dhiibo marka wali arrintii waa taagan tahay maxkamadii waa soo diiday abiilaan ka qaadanay marka haddii arrintaas wax naga qaban karo ayaan u soo wacay marka waan maasan tahay.
okay brother waxaan fursad badan ku siiyay waxaan rabay inaan helo meel ay arrintan iska soo gasho laakiin meesha ugu dhow u maleynaya inaad maaragtay nuxurkaagu yahay baan insha Allah taala ku gudbinaya. Sister brother Ahmed said that brother normally what happens is when kids been removed by the social workers if the relatives are around who are willing to take that child shouldn't the social workers give that child to the next to the king who are willing to look after or capable looking after it?
Yeah, they do.
Rather than giving someone else?
No, they do. I mean, there's assessments that are carried out if a child's removed from the family and generally, I mean, it's not really a criminal matter, but generally they do look at the next of kin as priority. They have to be assessed quite rigorously though, and if they meet the requirement, that will be the preferred way.
Okay. Ahmed, waad maqlayso waxay tiri arrintaan shuqul kuma laha topican caawa ka hadlayno laakiin waxaan kugu gudbiyay dhibka ku haysta awgeed waxay ku tiri waxa xaq u leh ilmahaas inuu hayo qofka dad ugu dhow oo markaa dad ugu dhow haddii uu maaragtay yahay qof hayn kara aad u mahadsan tahay topiceena ma hayn laakiin mahadsan sidoo kale dhinaca kale telefoonka haro may maqashaa. hello
assalaamu calaykum.
wa calaykum salaam
walaalo roodo xuseen baan idhaa London baan kaala soo hadlayaa.
hay roodo
marka waxaan rabay inaan adiga gabadh waan salaamay salaanta muslimka salaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh.
calaykum salaam
walaalo waxaan rabay su'aal oo wiil walaalkaya adiga muddo 7 sano xiran yahay ana dambi oo galay marka APP wax la dhahay ku xukumeen marka good behavior waxyaalo buu la yimid marka hadday i caawin karto kale oo more information aan siin karaan rabay inaan ogaado.
roodo maxaa lagu xiray ma ka hadli kartaa mise martiina ka hadli
wallahi isaga dambi oo geystay iyo naagtiisa dacwadiisa ada wax u ba isku maqaysaday
marka sidee rabtaa inaan u weydiiyo maxaa jeceshahay ku dhaw gabadha
maxay tirabo
maxaad jeceshahay gabadha inaan weydiiyo ku iraahdaa
marka hadda maanta un baa xitaa ka imid waxaan rabay inaan ii weydiiso ADT-dii waa u dhamaatay good behavior la yimid marka inay caawin karto haddii wadanka in la soo dayn karo oo xitaa open present waxaas la geyn karo sahan xitaa raal u yahay inuu wadanka u noqdo because saddex ciyaal uu dhalaa xitaa u hayaa marka ya
Rono miyaysan kuula muuqanin haddii su-aashii oo dhibaatadii oo tafatiraan haddaadan sheegi karinin inay dhib tahay inay ka jawaabto wixii waxaa laga yaabaa inaadan rabin inaad ka wada hadasho waa la fahmi karaa family iyo sensitivity badan baa jirta laakiin asxaan baan kuu samaynayaa walaashay emailka kor ku qoran haddaad fiirisid a.xafid@tvuniversal.net haddii aad kusoo qortid detailskaaga ayadaan kuugu gudbinayaa wayna kula soo xiriiraysaa ballan baan kaga qaado
جزاك الله خير والله ما سنتهي
no
اوكي
sister Rhoda is a complicated issue regarding her brother who's been locked up. There's a problem, family problem and stuff like that. She need help. I said to her, because we don't have a complete picture, the best thing to do is she emails me and I pass it to you. And then that way you can all communicate. gabadhu waxay hadda kahor iga aqbashay oo tiri ilaahay dartii baan ugu sameynaya dadweynaha Soomaaliyeed maadaama markii aan soo islaamay aad iyo caawiyeen bay tiri waxaan jecelahay inaan caawiyo intaan caawin karo marka waxay diyaar idinku tahay officekeeda inaad kusoo booqataan detailskeeda iyo macluumaadkeeda oo dhan waxaad ka helaysaan a.xafid@tvuniversal.net and I'll pass it everything inshallah then we can all work together khadka telefonka hala way maqashaa
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
سيدي عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. مقعد.
عبد الحفيظ عبد الرزاق وأداته واسمك لوينك.
تفضل عبدي سؤالك.
هذه قبل بهرتر مركو ورسول السلام يا.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
marka xiga waxa waaye arrin oo muhiim ah dadka hor taabatay oo arrin criminal ku saabsan aan rabaa in wax ka weydiiyo
soo daa
2006 ma aragtay anigoo oo train saaran oo qof ma aragtay kaar dhulka aan ka helay oo disable oo aan ku raacay tareenka ay booliiska ugu qabteen markay ugu qabteen kadib booliiska ayay geeyeen waxay iga qaadeen faray iga qaadeen habeenkii way sii daayeen marka waxay dhaheen adresskaaga aan warqad kugu soo direynaa waxba maxkamadda ma ii dirin booliiskii warqada ii soo dirsadeen police stationkii qolada transportiga oo booliiska aan isku aragnay waxay dhaheen maaragtay arrintan inaad samaysay qofnaha kala hadlin qofnaha u sheegin markaa shaqo dalbanay sidoo kale marka aniga wax weyn maba ka dhiganin okay aan ku dhahay meeshii aan iskaga baxay waxaan dalbaday kaarka security-ga SIA license-ka dalbaday warqada criminal jaga markii ay ii soo dhaceysana waxaa ku qoran in maaragtay ay hadda ka hor booliiska ay caution isiiyeen oo maaragtay ana wax kaarka security-ga maaragtay markaas heli karin marka arrintaasoo kale gabadha na ii weydiisaan rabay maaragtay how many years oo recordka uu ku jiri karaa maaragtay recordkaas oo kale maxaa dambiyahooda ahaan karaa maaragtay maxaan samayn karaa
cabdirasaaq hadda aduu marka shaqo ma hesho ma shaqaysaa
aniga shaqo oo iska normal aan helay laakiin markii oo shaqo government iyo waxaas aan dalbado kale adiga 2-3 years ago maaragtay dib igu ahayd maaragtay oo successful ma aan application-kaaga liidahay
okay just waxaan rabaa hal su'aal inaan ku weydiiyo oo fadlan yes iyo no uga jawaabto saan walaasha kugu gudbiyo booliisku markay ku yidhaahdeen cidna waxa u sheegeen qoraal miyay ku siinayso afka lagaa yidhi
afkay iga dhaheen waxay dhaheen markii shaqo oo aad dalbanay sidoo kale arrintan in hadda ka hor qaladkan aad samaysay qofnaha kala hadlin reason because inay ku diidaan aad dhici karto markaasna aniga wadanka waa ku cusbay 2 sano 3 sano camal aan joogay marka qof kale baa ii turjubaanayay marka waxay kugu dhaheen u dhaha maaragtay recordka maaragtay marka government-ga shaqo dalbanay sidoo kale sida airport oo kale meelaha oo government-ga oo kale
cabdirasaaq waa mahadsantahay si fiican baan kuu maqla cami aad baan kuu mahadcelinayaa sister brother Abdurrazak from year 2006 founded Oyster card, disabled Oyster card I think he said, which he used it on trains, buses, whatever, and he's been caught by police. Took him to a local police station, got his details done. They got his details and they sent him off, and they told him if you're going to apply a job in the future, make sure you do not mention this, that you've been cautioned. That's what he said. And he applied a security job, and the CRP check revealed that he's not able to obtain that job for simple reason because of that past event. what is the law says about something like that? Shouldn't the police be clear, told him exactly what this implies?
Well, that's why you should always have a solicitor at the police station. I think people don't realise that, particularly young people, particularly when young people are accompanied by their parent thinks that they're the parent even, and they can take over that role, but it's not the case. Unfortunately, the police are trained in law, and you need someone who's trained in law to represent you. In this case, a caution is not a conviction, so you don't have to declare it as a conviction, but it stays on your criminal record for a certain period of time.
For how long exactly?
Well, it depends on the offence, and there's quite sort of different sort of scale as to how long things stay in your criminal record. But the issue will be is that a CRB check would show up a caution generally. A CRB check can show up things for years and years ago sometimes. It's not that it's a conviction. It will say it's not a conviction, but it's a caution. And it's a caution. I'm not sure what he was charged at. This is a bit difficult. But if it's some sort of dishonesty, then that caution for a dishonest offence does affect employment prospects. So it would be quite important at that time for him to have a solicitor to advise him of the consequences of that. So CRB check, particularly an enhanced one will show up nearly everything, even if you've been arrested then let go for nothing. There is a procedure where you can ask for it to be taken off your criminal record, but you have to show some sort of serious circumstances, and it depends on whether you were charged or what, again, specifics. But safe to say the most important thing is always get a solicitor. It's free. In some countries it's not free anymore. It is free no matter what your income to have a solicitor at the police station. You need to remember that,
If a brother like Abdulsaq comes to your office, would you be able to help him?
In relation to
this kind of problem?
Generally
other people who's got similar problems or different.
These are not really sort of criminal problems. They're more an administrative issue of like his caution and how it's affecting him. But yeah, certainly someone could help him to do a letter, maybe to say investigate more specifics. How long it's on there for? Should it still be on there? If it's affecting his job prospects, trying to maybe see if it can get taken off. So yeah. There is issues that can be done.
But if there's a criminal, some kind of criminality took place, they can come and obviously talk to you guys.
Yes, of course, yeah, any sort of criminal.
Okay. Abdulsaq, waxaan malaynayaa cami inaad ka dharagtay hadalkeedii saan u malaynayo waxay ku tiri police station marnaba tagin adiga kaliya ma ahna qofna uu yisan police station tagin booliska waxa loo tareerin gariyay bay tiri sharciga yaqaanaan iyo nidaamka marka hadii aad police station tagaysid dambigu wuxuu rabaa aad lagu soo eedeeyay adigoon lawyer wadanin ha tagin si maaragtay lagu difaaco oo xaqaaga lagu soo dhaciyo waxa la mid ah bay tiri daayarta waalidkood ay geenayaan oo ay moodayaan waalidka weyn inuu sharciga garanayo laakiin mararka qaar kood aysan wixii fahmaynin macnaha hadalkeeda ayaa saas aha marka kulligee waa inaanu lawyer wadanaa booliska iska celina xaqeena soo dhacsana aad baad u mahadsantahay macallin dhinaca kale telefoonka halo ma maqasho
السلام عليكم.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
والمقعد وحوي آمنة.
هيا آمنة سودو.
وسودو هي وحكي وما سوقني ولا وحن أسود وحن أسوق يعني ما شاء الله مكدبات ما قبل لكن وحن أسوق لي قبل دا إنه صوفري ستي إسلام كعرورتي إن يدك إنه مثلا كدقي حتى إيه أنا ويدينا إلهي سبحانه وتعالى إنه مقعد وناكن كنا ذكسيه وأصدق إنه قلنا حريصته إلهي وقلنا حريصته إلهي إننا هنونيه وبشر رمضان إلهي دم بجد دا فما دابا قبل إسلام تيتاي الحمد لله مركا أنت سوق لا أدقنا واد ما سنت إلهي أدقنا إنه كبرك أيان كود يعني مركز تميل هذا أرد بعد نقصو نقعاوي إلهي هكو عاوي أدقنا لبدينا بقى إلهي أنت سانك سوق لا جزاك الله خير.
آمنة وياك لو حن جعلنا كويديو القروح الإسلام كصومال نارك كمان أنا نروح نسوق كنا توحيد
قروح بنيها.
أدنو كل ما تعلن يا إلهي نوار زاق ما ما يشكر جزاك الله خير وما سنت والله.
وجزاك الله.
I'm basically just making dua for you, the hard work you're doing for the community, and Allah that gives you hidayah. And she says that it's great to have you here. Dina telephone kalo may maqasho.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
magacaaga.
magacayga xawa la dhaabo.
xawa xagee dunida ka joogtaa Suudana?
Scotland aan joogaa boys.
aha
waxyar ma weydii karaa
hawada TV-ga Universal ayaa u sareeya xawa
ya
waa weydiin kartaa walaal
wiil yar oo aan dhalay oo hadda 12 sano jira marka 8 sano jira markaan bariska qaadanaynay waxay ugu dhaheen cunugan criminal waaye marka cunugina British way u diideen oo waxay dhaheen ilaa booliiskan waa u tago waa soo cadeey wixii dhan marka waxa cunugan criminal ma ahna la dhaay cunug oo 8 years jiray criminal ma naqanayo
ayagana waxay leeyihiin kuwa bariska markaan wacan waxay leeyihiin ilaa aad booliiska warqada ka keentay ilaa warqadii wax waa u direen 10 shilin aan dhiibay waa waxay dhawaa lagu soo cadeeyay ilaa haddana way igu haystaan ma aqaan wiilkina
marka warqadii cadeynaysa inuusan dambi gelin booliis waa ka haysaa
warqada ha booliiska ay siiyay
kuwa criminal record kuna waa diideen ama sharciga baasaboorka siina waa diideen
way diideen ha lacagtana way iga qabaan
aad baa mahadsantahay waan ku weydiinaya
insha Allah salaam alaykum booliis
how was it that Hassan they apply a British citizenship passport, yeah, and at that time Hassan was 8 years old and now he's 12 years of age, but his record showed that he's got a criminal record. She went to the police to find out what is going on, and the police give her a letter saying that it's clean, but on the other hand the immigration won't buy it.
Well, they would have to really accept the letter, you know, if it's a genuine letter, which I'm sure it is, they would have to, you know, she'd probably have to take that a bit higher up. It might just be some immigration officer who's not really understanding the circumstances. So it's probably maybe to get that dealt with some sort of higher person in immigration and probably the MP, who's got very much sway in immigration. Because if it's a letter from the police saying there's an error, then, you know, she shouldn't be prejudiced.
Okay, shukran. Waxa lagu yiri hadii warqadu saad sheegaysid ay booliiska ka timid oo ay saxsan tahay waxa weeyaan inay aqbalaan bay ku qasban yihiin hadii aad weydeen waxaad sameynaysaa bay tiri taas suurtagal weeyaan waxaad sameynaysaa MB-ga xaafadada u tagi kartaa isagoo ku dacwoodo ama meelaha kale qofku caawin karo raadsan laakiin inay aqbalaan bay ku qasban yihiin hadii booliiskii bay leeyihiin waxa ma hayo khadka telefoonka halo may maqasho hello
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام مقعد
والله عبد الوهاب الله ينور.
عبد الوهاب حقي جوجت عاوة
والله لندن ما كان صاحب ليا
سودو
والله مرة روان السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام
والسؤال immigration كان بودين كلا قبل قرار لاسية
دينا كريمنال كسابسن
دينا كسابسن شرعية ده
he wouldn't talk about
asylum seeker
الشغل brother ما هو كحمة رالو عبد الوهاب وكحمة عبد الوهاب توبيق عاو كهذا الإنسان ما مركو ما تنتهي ألو مي مغشاه
واكم مغلا
السلام عليكم شيخ
اوكي
مدعوله
والله الحل هذا مقعي عبد الكريم بالله waxaan ka soo wacaya xaafadda North London baan deganaa walaal
عبد الكريم سولو maxaa joogsan walaasha weydiisid
waa maasanta abu waxaan rabaa walaal inaan weydiiyo 2006 ninkii yarkii saddexaad oo daayadka qatar ku jira hoosta kaarka weydiinaya maqlay xogaa similar arin ahaan macnaha aniga igu dhacday waxa waaye hadda ka hor anoo gaari wada qolooyinka traffic wardens-ka gaari iga qaatay markay iga qaateen marka gaari yar ay wateen gaari ku qaateen maan gaari kale yar oo midka managerka uu watay waan xanaaqay marka xogaa tambarkayga kacday waxaan sameeyay ana furihii gaarigiisaan ka qaatay marka markii aan furihii qaatay waa la lugayay furihii waa iskala dhaqaaqay way iga daba qayliyeen furihii meel qashin aan isaga tuuray adeero booliis baa yiri furihii waa la iga baaray waa la iga waayay booliiskii waa ay weydiiyeen furihii ma haysaa le waayo aan eri furihii booliiska waan siiyey markaan furihii booliiska siiyey waxaa la yiri go arrest you for theft borobat waxa adiga lahayn waa waxaa la yiri waa maaragtay waa waxa theft imaanayaan maxkamadda la ii ballamay maxkamad baa la geeyay maxkamadda hadii la geeyay waxaa la yiri something you don't have a permission it comes under theft marka looga hadii la fiirsho marka 100 pound la penalize gareeyay 100 pound waxaan la yiri maaragtay waana waxaa la yiri be aware for next 2 years waana markii ugu horeysay waana markii ugu dambeysay marka actually hada taksiil aan hay maan leeyahay criminal record case soo dalbaday way ku taalaa waxaan jecelahay maadaama first one iyo last one uu yahay inuu be clean ahaado marka pointiga waxa waaye ma laga clean garay karaa intaas waa pointiga waa ma santaa buumaan gabadhan waa salaamaya adigana waa ku salaamaya waan u duceynayaa gabadhan caawinaysa bisha Ramadan Ilaahay ejekeeso xiyaada ma santaa walaal.
Okay, sister brother Abdulkarim said in year 2006 traffic warden took his car, brought the vehicle and took the car away. He got angry and took their car key and threw it away. And police were called and he admitted that he's got the key and probably showed them where the key was, and now he's got a record and he stays on his CPR check. It's on it. The criminal record bureau is on there, and he says, how can he remove that? Since it's his first time and last time. And furthermore, he says that he will pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you this month of Ramadan.
Well, the thing is, it's pretty difficult without knowing the specifics, because how long things stay on your criminal record depend on the offence, what you're charged under. It's all different times, to be honest with you. So it's quite difficult in the specifics. But
it's been charged with theft.
It's been charged with theft. So it depends again on what punishment he got as well. It's quite tricky. But the real issue is that things generally remain on your CRB check for quite a long period of time. As I said, if it's very much detrimental, you can actually make an application for it to be taken off. But maybe if he emails us the actual specifics, you can work out the time limit and how long it should be on there for.
Excellent.
Good. I just wanted to say that I think it's quite systematic of the problem that I'm talking about, is that no one has called in about the situation of Muslim youth and how we can solve that problem, how we can help our young people to come away from a life of crime and support them in terms of any other habits they may have that we find difficult, like drugs and everything else. There hasn't been one person that really is an issue that I think it marks the significance that the community don't want to deal with it, that everyone's interested in their own problem they may have had, but there's grown adults calling in, but the issue is really how do we save the next generation. And I think it's quite telling that no one's actually raised it.
I'll put that to them. Shukran. Abdikarim brother, waxay ku tiri waxay ku xiran tahay waxa lagu xukumay iyo punishmentiga lagu siiyey markaa kadib in badan bayna u badan tahay inuu rekoorkaaga ku jiri doono dembigaas bay tiri. taas waxay tiri waxaan kaloo dhinaca kale la yaabay intaanu hadlaynay hal qof oo idinka ka mid ah nama soo wicin bay tiri, namana weydiinin da'yarta Soomaaliyeed ee joogta sidii loo badbaadin lahaa iyo sidii daraagiska iyo dhibaatada looga soo badbaadin lahaa. waxayna taasi daliil u tahay bay tiri community inuusan weli u bislayn inuu xaqiiqada ka hadlo, dhibka haysana uu fooda daro. halkaa waxaan ku joojinayaa dhinaca khadka teleefanada, iminkana ayadan idinku wareejinaya say u tiraahda kelimadii u dambeeyey, dabadeedna waanu soo xiri doonaa. My sister, we come to the end of the program. What is your message to the people? I will, anyone who first for emails me regarding the topic in hand, I will forward to you. I promise that, inshallah, I will do that. But what is your message to the community?
I think my message is that we are in a very serious situation and we have to wake up now. I don't know how long we're going to hear people crying about their children being put in prison, often by parents actually calling the police, which is something we didn't really touch on. But it's important to know that, calling the police on your children is a very serious matter and has serious effects. So we have to really wake up as a community and realise that we have to come together. It's a community-wide problem. It's not something to be ashamed of. And if we can work together and start a different approach with young people, as I said, not black and white, not either you're either perfect or we don't really want you. A matter of working with them and realizing that it could take a long time. You could be on a long journey with someone because we are human beings, and we should be merciful. Allah's merciful, and we should be merciful to each other, particularly to young people. They do keep slipping. They do keep slipping a lot. But as I said, the most impressive thing about Somali young people is that they do have their deen in their heart, and I think it's a way to get them back a lot quicker than other people. If we use the right tools, not be so black and white with them. And I think the most important thing, as I've said already, is the community needs to wake up. And because even today it's shown, there's no one that's called up and said, actually, yes, this is a problem with my son and I don't know how to deal with it, or how can we come together. No one has actually raised that, even though that's the topic of the show.
Indeed.
So I think that is really it. We need to wake up, deal with this problem, and look at it as a test for our community, something which we are tested with, and try and overcome that together. And I think, inshallah, that's the way we'll be able to save the young people, because it's the next generation that we're looking at, people who are becoming further away from their deen, further from their families, and they will have children who will become further and further away. So unless we actually grip it now and deal with it in a different way, it's quite disastrous for us. So I would say it's probably time for a reawakening of our merciful character and trying to come together to deal with this.
Thank you very much, sister. waxay tiri tani waxay noo tahay call hurda ka kicina oo dadkeena inay maaragtay u toosaan loo baahan yahay, carruurteena inaan gacanta ku dhigno, aanan carruurteena booliiska ugu yeerinin. maxaa yeelay markay wax qaribaan oo booliiska ugu yeerno dhibaato weyn bay hadhowta kala kulmayaan. ilmahaaga loogu yeero booliiskuna khatarteeda ayay leedahay, oo community wide weeye problemku. waa inaan isku nimaadnaa waxna qabsanaa. dhibaataduna waxay tahay bay tiri hal qof oo idinka ka mid ah mar labaad bay ku celisay oo arrinta laga hadlayay soo wacay ma jirto, kana hadlayay dhibaatada jirta. waxayna daliil u tahay mar labaad inaanaan weli bislaanin. waxaan u mahad celinayaa allah jala jalaaluhu barnaamijkan suurtageliyey maamulka tv-ga universal cabdallah producerka farsamada quruxda badan cabdulqaadir sorry can cabdiqani ba isagoo mar walba barnaamijkan noo daadiyey maxamed saciid oo dhinac kale naga caawinayey walaashan qaaliga iyo dhammaan idinkoo dhan waxaan kaga tegayaa taqwada ilaahay minima asalaamu calaykum waraxmatullah